Well, hello. Welcome to E.G.Dot and Friends. My name is Elden and today we are presenting Happy Holla Games. And again, this is my series where I rank every game that I played throughout an entire month. In this case, it is December 2021. This month is an interesting month. I played about 24 games, but only 2 new to me games. Got a lot of old classics, games I've been wanting to get to. And so even my lower ranked games here are going to be fairly well regarded by me anyway. But let's go ahead and get started. One of the new to me games, and again, because I mostly played games that were games that I knew that I liked, this ranking of 24 out of 24 this month maybe doesn't truly reflect this game. So, first of all, it's not a great game. Anyway, let's talk about the name. It's called Snake Oil, and but it's not a terrible game. It's not a bad game, and it does what it does pretty well. This is a party game where one person's deciding what the best sales pitch was of these made-up products. One player will get like they're buying something for a specific thing. One of the examples that we had in the game that we played was for somebody hitchhiking west or something like that, something similar to that. And so we had to come up, you got some cards and you take 2 of the cards and put them together and you come up with that product and then you try to sell them on that product. And it's an interesting kind of salesman game, a lot of laughing happening. Some people are better than others, and as far as a game like trying to keep score or whatever, I don't know if that's even the purpose. I think the activity of going through the process of trying to do the sales pitch, it's fun to have somebody win that particular pitching session, but like you're supposed to go around and whoever has the most cards wins, whatever. Stuff like that doesn't ever really compute for me in games like this, but Snake Oil. There are other games like this that I know that are on the market, and this one might be harder to find at this point. But I found it at the thrift store and played it with some friends. Good game. Next one, Telestrations. This is another party game. This is a game I know I like. It says I only played this one 5 times that I officially played. I actually run this game quite a bit as a teacher. Not a ton, but I have run it with classes where we put them in groups and we do this sort of activity. Maybe not officially Telestrations, but Telestrations is a fantastic product. And I have the party edition that has 12 booklets, so you can play with up to 12 people in the same game. And this is the telephone game, but drawing. So you're going to have a word, you're going to draw a picture, you're going to pass it on. Someone's going to try and guess what that picture is, and then we'll pass on to the next person who will only see their guess, and they're going to try and draw what that guess was, and then they're going to pass it on, and that person's going to try and guess what they drew, and this goes around the circle until it comes back, and hilarity ensues when you go through and see how it mutated from one to the other. I play this with my family. Kids as young as 9, which is, I think, about as low as you want to go, kind of depending on the kid. Again, you don't want to take it too seriously. It's more fun as an activity, really, more than a game. I don't keep score in this game at all. There is an official scoring method, but it makes the game less fun. Just do the activity, then go through your boards. And that's the way to do it. Anyway, highly recommended Telestrations as a party game. Next is Coup, number 22. This is a game I've played a ton, over 100 times. One of my few Century games. And my stepson really enjoys this one. We play quite a bit. I'd probably rank this one higher because I've just played it so many times it's kind of worn on me. It lost a little bit of its charm and luster, but if you like social deduction games that play fairly quickly, there is some player elimination in this, but you're not out for very long before the next round starts. And just a good social deduction game that you can play. What you're doing is You're trying to be the last one surviving. You have two characters in front of you who are like your protectors, and you are trying to gather enough money so you can hire assassins or launch a coup to get rid of other people's cards, and just last person with a card wins. The ingenious twist of this game is that you can just lie about who you are, and but people can call you out on your lies. And anyway, maybe you just have to play it to really understand it. But it's a really good game. I recommend people, especially if you like social deduction type games. This one's probably my favorite. Anyway, 21. This is another one of my new to me games. And again, I'm saying this is my 21st out of 24th game this month. But this game is actually pretty solid. What you are doing is you have a board. You randomly put out five fruits onto your board, and the way you collect fruits in this game is you move them, you slide them across your board, and every space that you slide across, you collect that many fruit. They have buildings or other tiles that you can purchase to put onto your board. You can, as you collect enough fruits, you can send off ships, which creates more space on your board, so you can collect even more fruit as you move things around. Certain stands that you buy allow you to make milkshakes or ice creams, and those can be worth a lot of points. And yeah, just a really clever sliding game. This might go up in my estimation if I continue playing it. I do think it has some sort of limitations, but it's not hard. Easy to teach, easy to play. You can play it with fairly young kids, I think. I mostly play with adults. I did play with one kid, and yeah, it just works pretty well. Juicy Fruits. This is from Capstone Games, and anyway, good game. I will probably end up playing this one more. We'll see how it fares in my estimation. Number 9. This is another game I've learned recently. Not new to me this month, but I'm still playing it, still enjoying it. Don't read too much into this being 20th this month. I played a lot of really good games this month. Number 9, you're stacking. Again, it's a tile laying and stacking. There's some spatial reasoning. You want to get your highest numbers as high off the ground as possible so that they score the most. But it's clever. It's a great game where everyone's playing at the same time. That's like a thing I really enjoy. There's games that play snappy where you're not sitting around and waiting for other people a lot, and this one does it really well. Number 9. Number 19, Gingerbread House. Another game I really enjoy from Phil Walker Harding. This is another tile laying game where you are building up your little 9x9 house, and it has some rules. But as you place things, you're going to be collecting resources or having opportunities to do different actions. And then you are going to try to attract these fairy tale characters into get trapped by your gingerbread house. And they're worth varying different points. There are some other point cards that you can collect. There's an advanced game and a family game. The advanced game just has like some variable points. When you complete levels, you can pick one of these cards, and you can get up to 3 of them, and they're worth different amount of points. In the family game, it's the same thing, except for they're just set amounts of points that you can collect. Anyway, Gingerbread House. Some people, I think, erroneously believe this is a Christmas game. It is not. The Gingerbread House is more of a fairy tale theme more than anything Christmas themed, in my estimation. Anyway, Gingerbread House. Number 18 this month is Project L. Another game kind of was new to me. Was it last month, I think? And I really enjoyed it. Brought it out again. This is the cool thing about this game is you are taking these Tetris, these polyomino pieces, and you're filling in these puzzles. And as you fill in these puzzles, you get more pieces to add to your bank. So to make more puzzles, more complicated puzzles that are worth more points. Anyway, really fantastic game. It has a little drafting that goes on, and some some economics in what puzzles you do and the timing of doing those plays into the game. But really solid, easy to learn, easy to play. Great game, Project L. Number 17, Llama Land. This is sort of the follow-up to Gingerbread House by Phil Walker Harding also. And again, this game, it was new to me last month, and I got another play in. I really, really like this. I hope to play this one a lot more. I think this has the opportunity to like kind of jump up in my estimation as I play it more and find out more things. The one thing this game really does well is, again, like Gingerbread House, where you lay things down is what's giving you your resources that you're using to attract llamas into your region, where you can place them. There are some end game scoring things which are variable, and there's sort of a race. If you choose certain end game things first, you get more points for doing that. So you're sort of like locking in what you're going to do early to give you more points, versus locking in later when it's a little more certain that you'll do it to get points. So a little gambling there. I just really like how this plays out. I really like the whole aesthetic of the game is just fantastic. Winner of a game, if you have a chance and anything I said sounds great, I highly recommend it. Llama Land, my number 17 this month. Number 16, Point Salad. Another this is a game I've had a little bit longer and haven't played it for a little while, but I got it back out, played a few rounds of it. This is a great game. Again, easy to teach. You can play multiple rounds in a sitting. In fact, when you first teach it, everybody wants to play it again immediately after they've gotten one playthrough. People tend to get better the more they play. There's a little bit of hate drafting that goes on, and it's just a real balance. The thing I like about this is on your turn, you're either choosing a card that is going to be what your score is dependent on, or picking up ingredients and hopefully fulfill these scoring cards that you've picked up. And so just really good decision space, I think. It goes quickly, a little bit of thinkiness. Sometimes you're taking a little risk. Sometimes the different cards that you can score with are just totally... there's like a pattern to them, but there's just various things like having the most of something, having the fewest of something, having an even or odd of something, having certain combinations like having 3 of a kind or having 3 specific ingredients, and you can score them multiple times. Again, really, really enjoy this game. For a simple card drafting game, this one's fantastic. That's Point Salad. Number 15, Cat Lady. This is a game I just got my own copy of it. I'd played it once in the past and got my own copy, got some plays of it. And yeah, just a really good, again, drafting game, sort of like Point Salad. But this one, it just does a little bit differently. You're trying to collect these different cards that will score in different ways. Trying to collect cats and food to feed the cats, costumes, toys, which will all score differently. There's a couple of stray cats that do some different scoring that you're trying to collect if you can. And kind of the general conceit in this one is there's a 9x9 grid. You have to move the cat from where it is somewhere around this grid, and then you take the 3 cards that are pointing at the new location. There are some cards that let you move the cat and then move it back, so you can take the same one you're pointing out, but otherwise you're limited. Your choices are limited to rows or columns that are not the column that was just taken. And so, which I think is just really interesting. Josh Wood designed this, the word I'm looking for, and who I believe did Santa Monica, which I played earlier this year. I didn't realize they were the same. They're designed by the same people. Anyway, if you're wondering, this one I like this one better than Santa Monica, but really good game. Cat Lady, for a quick drafting filler, super filler maybe, because it takes a little bit longer than just a few minutes. But yeah, really good game. Cat Lady. Number 14, Snowtails. This is a game I haven't played for a few years. But I had a hankering to play a racing game. I pulled this one out, and this is a dog sled racing game. And the interesting one here is every turn you're going to play a card from your hand, either to one side of your dogs or the other side of your dogs, or to your brake to control how fast you are and how lopsided those numbers, the two sides of the dogs are, is how far you drift to one side or the other, which I think is pretty unique. The only thing that's even remotely similar to this is maybe like Mississippi Queen, which is another really cool racing game. But yeah, I did terrible in my play of this month, but I had a lot of fun on the board. And anyway, yeah, Snowtails, if you haven't played it, really cool. It also has one of my favorite kind of jokes within a game, and it comes with a token called the Big Pause, and you give it to someone when they're taking a long time on their turn. Anyway, Snowtails. Number 13, Fantastic Factories. Got this to the table again. Just really cool dice allocation game where you are kind of drafting cards and then creating an engine to run and trying to score the most points. I found this really interesting. I tried out the solo variant, which was okay. Maybe not my favorite solo game, but it was functional and it was fine. But yeah, really good game. Fantastic Factories. Not going to talk too much about it. Number 12, Furnace. Just really enjoying this game. Got it to the table again. This is another engine builder where you are bidding on this array of cards at the beginning of each of the 4 rounds. And as you bid on them, you may win it or you may want to lose it, because by losing it is another way to generate resources or do certain production type activities and with your resources, and try to plan out and give yourself options there is pretty neat and cool, and just really like it. It's a good 45-minute to an hour long game, depending on if you have to teach it, or sometimes you have to think a little bit and make sure everything's run the way you want it to. But yeah, really good game. Furnace. For sale, Autorama. For sale, one of my all-time favorite games. And earlier this year, I picked up the Autorama. I'd kickstarted it and it came in. And though it's technically a sequel, and you could play it exactly like original For Sale, the one cool thing that Autorama does is it comes with a third deck of cards, and you play a third round. You play the first round much like the first round original For Sale, where you're going around the table and bidding. As you drop out, when the bidding's too high, you pay half of what you've bid previously, or nothing if you haven't bid yet, and take the lowest valued card. Except for in this game, instead of taking houses like the original one is, you are actually, the first round is about getting employees, which have special abilities, special scoring, and other things, and those employee cards will also be used in round 2 when you do an once a round auction, playing these employee cards in order to get vehicles, which are similar to the houses in the original version, numbered 1 through 30. They have cute little artwork. One thing I found out is the 1 to 7 look pretty the same, and if you're not paying attention to the picture, you might confuse the 1 for the 7. Anyway, may or may not have happened. And then in the third round is you are playing it very similar to the second round of the original, where you are playing these vehicles that you just got blindly, 1 per round, as these checks come out, and whoever played the highest numbered card gets the highest numbered check, and you're just trying to get the most money. The one cool thing about this version of the game is these employees mess with the auction. They mess with round 2 and the round 3 auctions, and some of them give you some incentives for doing certain things for end-game scoring, like all the money. So like one of them that's pretty interesting, doubles all the leftover money you have that you didn't spend in the first auction, or that you may have gained through some other special powers and abilities, which is kind of cool because it's kind of incentivizing you to be really tight with your bids instead of getting kind of crazy and you want to have a bunch of money left over if you have these cards. But anyway, I find it really, really interesting how it compares to original for sale. I'm going to make another video later today or tomorrow where I think I'll talk about this more in depth. So if you want to watch that. Anyway, for sale Autorama. And there you go. Number... what'd I do? Previews. Okay, number 10, Targi. Targi is a 2-player only game. Played it once a few years ago. Got my own copy, and I've played it a couple times, including once this month. I really need to play it more. I have played this online a few times. I don't include that in my play count. So I have played it more than just the 3 times. But just a really clever worker placement game. This is another one that has a grid. It's actually a... what is it? It's like a 5x5 grid, but there's a border all around the outside, which makes part of the grid. And so there's actually a 3x3 grid every round that you're kind of messing with. Is that right? Anyway, so some of the things you're getting are you're trying to collect resources so you can get these cards that have endgame scoring or some abilities in them. But the way that you do that is you place 3 workers at every round around the outside, and then where your workers cross section, you can get up to 2 additional actions or abilities, and those things in the middle. Anyway, I'm kind of butchering the explanation here, I think, but it's just a really clever 2-player game. It's just a great game, very well regarded. I'm glad I have my own copy now, and looking for more opportunities to play it. Anyway, really good game. Targi. What is this? Can't read that. Number 9, Heaven and Nail. Another game I haven't played for a couple of years. The first year I had this, I played it quite a bit. I really, really appreciate and enjoy this. This is a Michael Kiesling and Andreas Schmidt game. Michael Kiesling co-designs a lot with Wolfgang Kramer. And this is one of the instances where he co-designed with someone else. But this was a Kennerspiel des Jahres nominee, if not I don't think it won, but it was a nominee back in like 2018, which is when I picked up the game. And I remember the first time I played it, I didn't love it. In fact, I'm kind of surprised I ended up buying it, but I did for whatever reason and gave it a couple more goes. And every time I played it, just enjoy it more and more. And as things go, I stopped playing it because, got hundreds of games here to play. But bringing this back out was fun. Just a really good game. I played a 2-player, which is okay. I think it shines better with 3 or 4 players. It's a little tighter. It's a little more vicious, and it's you just have to account for other people messing up your plans. But really good game. The way it deals with gaining resources, I think, is really unique, and does it differently than other games I've ever played. Managing your money is really important. Managing your scoring tokens and balancing, trying to build up a big scoring opportunity versus not being able to do it at all, potentially is a big conceit of the game, and just really, really good game. I think it doesn't get as much love as it should, but anyway, really like it. Heaven and Nail. Number 8, Lorenzo Il Magnifico. This is another game I played a long time ago once. For whatever reason, I had a hard time really understanding that game. And anyway, a couple years later, I got my own copy. It's been sitting on the shelf for, I don't know, a long time, months. And just for whatever reason, didn't get it out. Anyway, decided to get it out. Don't regret it at all. Hopefully I do not wait another couple years to play this again. Really good game. This has snuck into the BGG Top 100, which surprises me just a little bit because I didn't think it was getting that much love from other people, but it's very well deserved. This is Cranio Creations, and this is a design group that's kind of behind a lot of other games that I enjoy, like Grand Austria Hotel, Coimbra, I think is at least part of it's a lot of these designers. Barrage, was it Marco Polo maybe part of that group? Anyway, really good game. Newton, I think, was part of that, and it's really cool. It's 6 rounds where you're going to place 4 workers, so you're getting 24 actions. Part of them, you're putting them down in these towers to get cards that are going to build up your engine, build up your kind of scoring abilities, stuff like that, and then just collecting resources. It's really tight in what you can do, and it's really basic, but it's really cool. I don't know. It works really well as a game. It has sort of this old-timey in Florence theme, where you can be excommunicated by the church if you're not doing the things that the church wants you to do. But it's a way to score points, and yeah, I don't know. Just a really solid game. Hopefully, I'll get this one to the table more often in the future. But Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Number 7, Isle of Cats. Just another one of my games that I got this year that I really, really enjoyed. It's probably a little late to the party, this game, but this game just works really well. I think the artwork's cool. I think the way it functions is awesome. You have these cats on 2 sides. Some are a little cheaper, some of them are bigger. There's this card draft round where you're getting cards, which that then dictates what your turn order is and how many cats you can capture that round. And then there's some other cards that you can get that will let you pick up these special cats or these treasures that you can load up on your boat. And there's this whole spatial thing on your boat where you're trying to get the same colored cats connected to each other, trying to get these treasures on there. You're getting all these point scoring cards from the draft that kind of modify your score versus other people's. I don't know. Really good game. It has an expansion I've never played with, but anyway, Isle of Cats, really good game. Number 6, Azul. Just again, now we're getting to those all-time awesome, great games that I've ever played, and I just love them. Introduced us to some friends, which I thought I had played with before, and I hadn't, and I showed it to them, and I had a good time. I think they had a good time. They should have a good time because this is a really good game. Azul. Number 5, Santiago. Again, one of my all-time just favorite games. I've introduced this to a few people this year, and anyway, they were over, so we played it, and I think it went over well. Just really enjoyed this game. This is a game that I really hope gets reprinted because I think there's some people out there, and if it's got a splashy Kickstarter deluxe edition or whatever, some people might get a little foamy mouth over, and because this game I think needs to be in more people's hands. This used to be my all-time favorite game, and I really, really enjoy it. I still enjoy it, and Santiago. Number 4, Witchstone. This is a newer game to me. Played this 3 months in a row now, and this is one of my favorite games that came out this year. This is Rainer Knizia and Martino Chiacchiera, and R&R Games put this together. Things people say is that this is sort of like a Feld game, kind of a lighter Feld, but it has this kind of this point salad-y feel to it where you're doing these different actions and they all score you points, but it's really just building up your actions powers and comboing them off of other things. That really works really well. Another thing I heard somebody say is there's nothing groundbreaking here. It's taking all these concepts that have been out there, but it pulls them together so nicely. Plays just really, really, really well. After a little bit of explanation, you're ready to go and you're ready to play. Things make sense as you're playing the game. It's put together really well. Witchstone, great game. Number 3, So Clover. Another one of my just all-time favorite games that came out this year, 2021. So Clover and Witchstone, probably my 2 favorite games. And yeah, I don't know. I gushed about. I play this every month for the last 6 months. I've gushed a lot about it. It's out there. Go play it if you can find a copy. So Clover. Number 2, Castles of Burgundy. Got to play that in this year. Yeah, I don't know. Stefan Feld thinks this is his best game. One of my all-time favorite games, and I will always enjoy it. And yeah, again, a lot has been said out there. Great game. And my number 1, which I kind of spoiled a little bit earlier, is It's a Wonderful World. Got back into playing some solo hands of this earlier this month. And yeah, I played a ton of this game last calendar year. This year, not so much, but I had some stretches where I got it out and played it. I play this solo a lot. I've played it 2 and 3 player a couple times. But I don't know. It's a Wonderful World. I was doing the solo with one of the expansions, which I forget the name of. I have the box up here. It was Corruption and Ascension, where it gives like some cards that are really expensive but worth tons of points. One cool thing that the expansion includes is like these cards that are fairly cheap to get out, and they give you some great rewards, but also like maybe take away some of your income on some level. So you have to weigh the balance between is that reward enough to outweigh that negative on the balance. They also have cards that will score for like pairs of 2 other cards, which was a new concept. So like you could take there's 5 main suits, and so like every black and yellow pair that you have will score you points, which quite a few points. They tend to be really expensive cards, and so you got to work at them, and maybe that balance is not working. But if you can get a combo together that scores upon scores, it can be awesome. Great game. I see it's moving up on the Board Game Geek, almost to the top 100. It might tap out. I don't know if people are still gaga about it, but I really, really enjoy it. One of my all-time favorite games. It's a Wonderful World. Anyway, that's my video for this month. This is December of 2021, moving into 2022. Here's to another game, awesome year of gaming, and I need to come up with a tagline, something or other. I don't know.
Where? I'm making a YouTube video, Bev.
Like and subscribe.